Hi, all the signs of the zodiac. I'm Pam, the Lucky Mermaid, psychic seer and modern mystic, bringing you psychic predictions and messages from my spirit guides for this mid-month psychic tarot update for June 2026. Please be sure to watch your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign to get a more clear and complete picture of what's to come for you in June and perhaps beyond, because timing will be different for all of you in these general readings. Remember, sometimes your rising sign and your moon sign will resonate more for you than your sun sign. And if you're born on the cusp of your sign, some months your psychic predictions and messages are coming to you from there, so you might want to check that out. And please stay tuned to a very, very important message at the middle of this reading about some changes that are happening with my videos that you can purchase that are the special videos I record. So let's get started in this reading. I'm using the Hanson Roberts Tarot deck, and I'm starting with the sign of Aries. So Aries, the first card you have is the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles is a card that symbolizes being at peace and contentment with your life and having financial abundance and stability behind you. This could also indicate working alone on some business or project. This could also be indicating purchasing the finer things in life, like luxury items, or, spending money on nice things. You may feel, Aries, like you want to be elevated, like your life, you'd like to maybe have more money or live in a nicer home or a bigger home or a different neighborhood or have more expensive things around you. But wanting things to be elevated, it could be the material things in your life. It could be your finances. It could be both. It could also be in your, career, in your work life. Some of you may be really focused on, like, I have to get something going to make more money. So some of you may be focusing on that, like, maybe you want to get a part-time job or go into a new career or turn a hobby or skill into a business or creative creative venture and adventure that you could, maybe monetize. Some of you may feel bored with your living conditions, your living situation. Maybe you feel a little bored with your life and you'd like to have some enrichment in your life to become more interesting and, like more interesting, less drab or less boring, and have more oomph to it. Some of you could start to feel very close to someone, very connected to them. If somebody in your family recently started to date someone or got engaged or had a birth of a child, you could be getting close to one of those people. But it could be somebody else that you meet in a friendship or romance. You could be feeling like you want to get closer to somebody that feels like either they're new on the scene in June or they recently came on the scene in the last couple of months, maybe April or May, or they're coming in soon thereafter. So remember, timing is different for all of you in a general reading. So the card you have with it is the Hangman. This is being in limbo, not moving forward, not moving backward, being in a state of suspended animation and having to draw strongly from your own psychic ability and your own intuition at the time the Hangman shows up. It can also indicate waiting for something. So you could be waiting for something. You may be kind of in limbo about whether you're doing the right thing. So you could be questioning something you're doing, like, am I making the right decision? Am I doing the right thing? And you may not be certain about it. You may literally feel like you're in limbo. You could also be creating something. There could be something you're working on, something you're creating. It could be a business. It could be a hobby. It could be a website. Could be a channel on Rumble or YouTube. And you may not be sure how it's going to go. You may be like, well, I'm creating this. How's it going to go? Or maybe you're starting something new, like a martial arts class or an art class, or, I don't know, something that you're interested in learning or doing. Maybe you're joining a gym or starting to do a diet, a specific diet. And maybe you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to do, but I'm in limbo. Am I going to like it? Am I not? Am I going to stick with it? Will I not? Are other people going to like it if it's something you're putting out there into the world, or will they not? You could be like in limbo about it. This is a month where many Aries are going to feel like it's really important to make sure you've dotted all your I's and crossed all your T's. You may have to be very practical and pragmatic about the things that you're doing. Maybe you're not normally that like specific. I don't know. Maybe some Aries are, but it feels like for whatever you're doing, whatever you're working on, it could have to do with bill paying, finances, could have to do with your career. It could have to do with anything you're putting your focus energy on that you're trying to like correct, fix, improve. Uh, so you may feel like, I got to get this perfect. Maybe you're filling out, maybe you're applying for jobs and you're redoing your resume, or you have interviews you have to go to. These might be the things that you're like making sure everything's just so and perfect. Or if you're having a party or gathering and you're like, well, people are coming over to this celebration, I want to make it perfect. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Taurus. Hi, Taurus. So the first card you got for this mid-month update is the 10 of Pentacles. And this is a card that can symbolize receiving an inheritance, a gift of cash. Money could be coming to you through family channels. You could be working together with your partner to create more income and financial gain for your family. You could be lucky with money. Maybe you'll win some money is possible here. Getting a raise, a promotion. I feel like recently you've been starting to feel the pressure or the heat coming down on you with bills, expenses, but I feel like you're getting some kind of luck here where money is going to start to come down to you. So it could be coming through something you're selling, personal items, or your home or property. It could be coming from bosses. It could be what do you call it? A commissions check, an insurance payout, an income tax refund. It could be a bonus. Some of you may actually have seen this happen in May. So some of you, this could have already happened. If you have money you would like to leave to your grandchildren or to your children or to your spouse or anybody else, you may be making wills and trust funds now, or putting money in a trust account so that when the kids get to a certain age, that's when they get it. It could be something like that, like setting up money and payments. But I keep hearing like wills and trusts. You could be engaging in some conversations with some family members about money. So if there's somebody in your family that's elderly, or their health is poor, or maybe they don't even have to be that elderly, they could be talking to you about money. They could be having conversations with you about, who they want to get what, or where specific papers are kept. You could be having, that you would need to know should they pass away. Like you could be having conversations like that with a family member. Could be a father, grandfather, mother, father, doesn't matter, grandmother. I don't know who it is. So the next card in your reading is the Queen of Rods, and this is a fire sign person. Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. It could be you, Taurus, if you have a sun, moon, or rising sign that is a fire sign. This might be the person you're talking to about like wills and trusts and things like that. Somebody with a really uplifting, kind of sparkling personality could come in and really help you out. So this could be somebody helping you out in your home, or somebody helping you out with your business, or somebody you're hiring to help you out. And, if you own a business or if you're hiring somebody to come work for you. So this may be a really good decision because I hear they could really help you out. I feel like they're a little bit picky and persnickety, but I do get that they would get things done correctly. They would get things done right. So if you're hiring like a landscaper, a roofer, a painter, a bookkeeper, an accountant, a psychic, an astrologer, a doctor, whomever you're hiring, they may be very picky and persnickety and particular about what they do, but I feel like they're very good at what they do. I feel like this fire sign person wants you to listen to them and what their ideas are, and also to like kind of give them free rein or not muck up the works. Like let them do what it is they need to do. I don't feel like they need to be micromanaged, and they certainly don't want to be micromanaged. I can get that clear as a bell. This is somebody that would be very good to put together a plan of action for you. So if you need an accountant, a bookkeeper, a financial planner, a stockbroker, some kind of advisor, in a lawyer, or a doctor, or somebody that's in the medical field, anybody, or a trainer like at a gym, anybody that could put together a program, could be a computer person, a tech person, they're going to do a really good job. So they may be putting together some kind of program or format or something for you to use or work with, or something that you're going to put out there for the public to use or work with. But they may be the one setting it up, or the creator or the inventor of it. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Gemini. Hi, Gemini. The first card you have for this mid-month update for June is the Five of Pentacles. And this is a card that can symbolize financial bankruptcy, or emotionally feeling bankrupt, or depression. You could be worried about your money. Money may be available and you're not noticing it. You could feel like your finances are getting drained. Your bank account could be getting drained. Your finances could be getting drained. If you have to pay child support or alimony, or it could just be bills of utility bills and everything, taxes, you may feel like I am paying way too many bills. Pay, 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 pay. That's how you could feel. And you could feel like, I'm getting exhausted. It's draining my bank account. You may feel that way, Gemini, in June, or, it's a general reading. You could have already been feeling that way, or you could be feeling that way in June and beyond. You could feel like something is an uphill battle to climb. It's been a lot of stress, especially if there's somebody in your life that has had any kind of illness, any medical condition, or anything like that. It could be a problem. You could be like, man, I got to keep paying these medical bills, or, whatever it is. You could feel like kind of drained from it. You know, you got to be careful. You could create problems for yourself if you don't get out of something. You could be in a contract that is draining you or that's not a good deal. You could be in a company or a business or running your own business that's not paying off, that is draining you. Maybe they don't pay you enough at your job. And so you need to get a part-time job or start a sideline business. Or some of you may uh, just like, if you have your own business, maybe your own business isn't bringing in enough money and you're going to have to redirect what you're doing to bring in more money, like add more products and services or take your business in a different direction. Some of you, if it's, oh, you could have an illness that's costing you a lot of money. It could be somebody else in your life that's costing you a lot of money with their medical care. And it may be emotionally draining to you and the person that's not well. So it could feel like almost like insurmountable could be the feeling here. So the card you have with it is the Page of Cups. This is a water sign person, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. This could be you, Gemini, if you have a sun, moon, or rising sign that is a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or a child to you could be a water sign, sun, moon, or rising. But pages can also be adults that are immature or young at heart. You could feel like very emotional in June. It could have already been happening or will happen further, but I get a lot of emotionalism. And you may care too much. Well, you really can't care too much, but you may care so much that it's causing you depression, strain on your money, but could be depression, like too much emotionalism, too much overwhelming. I feel for some of you, this is you. If you have a child or somebody in your life, maybe a significant other or one of your kids, I don't know who it is, but some of you may have a water sign person, sun, moon, or rising sign person that's being very stubborn right now in June or beyond, and they're digging their heels in about something. There's something they don't want to change or something they don't want to do. They feel like if this is one of your kids or your significant other or a parent to you, they feel like you're going to let them have their way. So they're going to continue to dig their heels in, and they're like going to wait you out. They think you're going to cave and that you'll give in. So if you have somebody in your life that's being very stubborn, kind of controlling, digging their heels in, and you want them to change something that they're doing or do something that they don't want to do, they are trying to wait you out. They think they can win. So what you do with that information is up to you, Gemini. There could be a water sign person in your life that's trying hard to impress you also. This could be one of your kids, it could be your significant other, or it could be somebody new coming in that is like maybe somebody you hire if you're an employer, or if you're a manager or supervisor, you could be their boss. But this could also be somebody that wants to impress you, maybe like, you know, to go get your attention because they want to romantically be involved with you. So you have to see how it plays out here. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Cancer. Hi, Cancer. The first card you have is the Death card, and this is transformation. Something ending so something new can begin. You could feel suffocated by somebody. You could also feel like you may have the tendency to make a mountain out of a molehill and blow things up out of proportion and be overly dramatic. in June, or somebody could be doing that to you that's in your life. You may be very confused and say, I don't see the end game here. So that could be in your workplace. That could be in your love life. It could be in your home setting. Like there's something going on that you're like, I don't see the end game here. Maybe you think about that with the powers that be that run things out in the world. You could be saying that about them. I don't see the end game here with what you're doing. You could feel really tired. You could be burning the candle at both ends. You run the risk of, just getting like excessively drained and overly tired. You may be saying to people, either your employees, your kids, your family, I don't know who you're saying it to. Well, changes are coming in. I'm making the changes and you're not going to like them. You may not like them. So you could be coming in with like, okay, we're not doing this way anymore. Now we're going to do it that way. If you're a boss, a manager, a supervisor, a business owner, a parent, you could be saying these things to your employees, to your children, like changes are happening. I'm the one bringing them in. I'm bringing in the changes and they're happening whether you like them or not. This could be a month where you could torque some people. You could get people mad with some of the changes you're making or things you're saying or doing. If you had an old career or job that you left a while ago, you could be reviving that old career or job now, moving forward. Maybe it was something you did for a long time and you did it a long time ago, and then you moved on to other things, and now you're like, you know what? I need to go back to that. You may be telling people in your family, we're going to simpler times. We're not going to have this, that, the other. We're going to downsize this, that, the other. We're not going to be buying this, that, the other. Maybe you're telling them we're going off grid, living off grid. I don't know, but you may say, hey, simpler times. We're not doing all this, that, and the other. So the card you have with it is the Page of Swords. This is an air sign person. Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. This could be you, Cancer, if you have a sun, moon, or rising sign that is a air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. Pages can be children. They can also be adults that are immature or young at heart. So it could be one of your kids or it could be an adult. You know that's an air sign. You could get wickedly confused by them. They could be confusing you, what they're saying, what they're talking about. I feel like they kind of want to make you that way. So I go back and listen to the Death card again. This could be some of the people that don't like what you're saying or doing, don't like the changes that are happening. And, they could be like trying to muddy the waters or confuse you. I see you looking them as that they're indignant and aspirational. They may look at you like you're just making things harder for me. You're making things more complicated than what they need to be. We don't need to go that route. They could totally disagree with your point of view. This could also be you if you're born on the cusp of Gemini and Cancer. They could spoil the fun. They could read into things. They may be like over analyzing. And if there's some kind of happiness or celebration or thing going on or something interesting going on, I see them throwing dirt on it. Like if you were to go outside and pick up some soil and throw dirt right on that garden, but the garden, you don't want the flowers to get suffocated by dirt. You need to put the dirt around it real nice and neat. Well, that's not what I see. I see, they're trying to throw dirt on a situation that shouldn't be covered in dirt. or, you know, so they feel like you're making things harder than what needs to be. They feel like you're complicating things. So I don't feel like they're agreeing with you on whatever changes you have coming in here, or things like how we're going to do things now, or simplifying things. They're not in agreement with you about it. I don't feel that. Maybe you're a boss or a manager and you're like, okay, department, we're not doing it this way anymore. And this Page of Swords, this air sign person could be like, you know, rebelling against you. It's an air sign. Welcome to rebellion. Aquarius, Gemini. I think Libra can be rebellious, but Aquarius and Gemini, they can rebel. So think about it. Hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Leo.
So the first of the two cards I have for you, Leo, for this mid-month Psychic Tarot update is the Fool. And this is moving on to a new journey, an adventure with high hopes and high aspirations. But you have to be careful that you don't have your head in the clouds and that you don't have on rose-colored glasses, or you could fall off the cliff. I feel like some of you Leos are like, well, it's a brave new world out there and I'm ready to get on with it and go out there and explore it. You may feel like you want to get out of out from under some oppressive relationship or situation. And I feel like you're doing it. Not like just that you want to do it. I feel like you are doing it. And you're going to see the writing on the wall where there were things that were like tailor-made for you. So like job opportunities could pop up, or a new place to live, like a great new townhome or apartment, or, you know, something like things could, like the universe, your spirit guides, your deceased loved ones, the divine source could start putting things right in front of you. That's like, oh my gosh, I needed that. I needed that item. I needed that place. I needed that, you know, opportunity. I needed that new job. And these things are going to start popping up for you. So please trust signs, symbols, and synchronicities, because Leo, they're going to be popping up for you. And so you're going to feel like you're on a new journey, and it is going to be lucky, but you have to have your wits about you and pay attention to what's going to pop up for you. And, you know, if you've gone through a spell where you were like having trouble with people, not getting along with people as well as you usually did, you're going to start getting along with people really well. Like June, July, maybe even August, you're going to notice like, hey, I'm really getting along with people well. You know, maybe people that annoyed you before, maybe you're going to be getting along better with them as well. Yeah, you're not going to let any grass grow under your feet. This is a month where you're definitely going to be jumping into action. You may be also thinking about how to situate things. If you're getting a new place, a new apartment, a new job, a new business going, or even if you're getting like new landscaping or new furniture in your home, you may be like, well, how am I going to situate this? How am I going to move the things around to the, you know, to the best proportions, to the best pleasing to the eye? So the card you have with it is the Moon, which is secrecy and deception and romance. It could be secrecy by itself. It can be romance by itself. It could also be heightened psychic ability and intuition. This can also mean dreams, prophetic dreams. You have to be careful that something's not an illusion. You could question a lot of people right now. And you may be going through a period of time where you're questioning people of authority. That could be people of the powers that be out in the world. It could be bosses. Whomever you come across or you're dealing with that is in a position of authority. You could be really questioning them, their ethics, their morals, their judgments. There could be a relationship that some of you Leos don't want to be trapped and bound in anymore. It could be a love relationship for some of you, but it could be some other kind of relationship. And you may feel like it could even be a relationship to a company you deal with. So it could be an entity, a company, a business, but it could be a person. And whatever you have a relationship with, you may feel like, you know what? I don't want to be in a relationship with them anymore. I don't want to deal with them anymore. You may feel like somebody's making you the scapegoat or making you out to be the bad guy or girl. You could feel that way in June. It would be a great time for Leos to practice full moon releasing ceremonies and new moon manifesting ceremonies or rituals or whatever you want to call it. So you may want to really pay attention to the cycles of the moon, Leo, because I feel like the moon itself is empowering you and your choices and decisions in this month of June. But it could be going on even because I also see August. So I feel like June, July, and August, you should pay attention to the cycles of the moon and manifesting and releasing during the new moons and full moons. I would pay attention to it. You may be really noticing time. You may go, where did the time go? Time could seem like it's really speeding up and going by really quickly, especially if you have kids and you look at them or you're in a love relationship and you're like, wow, look how fast the time has gone. So you could be noticing time or the passage of time could be you could be hyper aware of it right now. And maybe you have been already. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to this sign of Virgo. Hi, Virgo. So the first card that you got is the 10 of Rods, and this is moving on to new and better horizons with 10 rods of burden on your shoulder. And these 10 rods of burden can actually be knowledge and experience you've gained that are going to help you as you move on to new and better horizons. The other sign that got that for this mid-month update is Sagittarius also got it. You may feel like you're building a better life. You're building something bigger. It could be a job, a career. It could be, your life in general, of multiple facets, your love life, your work life, your social life. If you have felt oppressed, you're going to be thinking or feeling like it's maybe time to get out of this oppression. So if you felt oppressed by a job, if you felt oppressed by a love relationship, if you felt oppressed by a living situation, or if you felt oppressed by some club, group, or organization you were involved in, this could be a time where you're like, I can't waste my time and energy being oppressed. I need to get out of here. You could be listing things for sale. This may be a time where you want to sell personal items or a property, especially if you're feeling the squeeze of financial drain. You may want to downsize. If you had investment property, you may want to sell it to have more money to afford everyday, day-to-day living. Or like I said, some of you may be wanting to downsize. Although I do feel that some of you that are in business or working are going to be hauling in more money. Maybe even in your investments. If you're retired and you have investments, they might start hauling in more money because I get you. Some of you are going to have more clients, more customers, more business, more patronage. But my guides are like, it could even be investments too. You could, maybe some of them are going to start doing well for you or better for you and bringing in more money. You could be tending to your garden. You could be looking at your garden going, wow, look how fast everything's growing. Your money could be growing. Your plants could be growing. You could be looking at children or grandchildren. You may be looking at them and going, wow, look how fast they're growing. It's a good time for you to capitalize on your intellect, your skills, and any opportunities that come in for you. The card you have with it is the Eight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles is learning a new craft, learning a new skill, starting a new job, starting a new business, gaining financial gain and rewards from your work, job, new business, or investments. The other sign that got this was Scorpio. If you're trying to build a business, I hear putting together a dream team. If you're not putting together a dream team with a business, you could be putting together something that is like a products or services or a website or a business model that would be like a dream team model, like a good model. If you own a business, you may be selling things to make room for new stock to come in, selling out of old stock to bring in new stock. Some of you may be focusing on polishing up your appearance in like your business website, your own personal appearance. Maybe you want to look more professional or something. But it could be like if you have a brick and mortar store, you may be wanting to polish up the appearance of that. If it's your own wardrobe, hair, makeup, whatever you do, you may be wanting to polish that up and make yourself look more like stand out more noticeable, or more polished and professional. Your inventiveness and creativity is going to be at all-time high. My guide said, necessity is the mother of invention. So your inventive mind, you may come up with like new inventions or new products, new services, new things out of necessity, because they did say that old saying. So maybe you're like good at reading the room, good at reading trends, good at reading what is needed out there, out in the world, what people need, what that kind of thing. So you could be really paying attention to that. And so therefore you may be like, well, I know just what the public needs and I'm going to capitalize on that right now. So pay attention to your creative instincts, your creative urges, pay attention to all of that, because I feel like it's going to work out well for you. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. And if you're interested in getting any of the special videos I record on very specific topics, they are available on these platforms. Patreon at the Lucky Mermaid Pam Georgel. On Gumroad, theluckymermaid.gumroad.com. And on Vimeo. My Vimeo videos are still available for purchase on Vimeo until June 23rd, 2026, and can be downloaded and saved to your computer for future viewing. You can still view your purchased Vimeo on-demand videos on the Vimeo website until September 21st, 2026, when they will close their on-demand part of their platform. So before I go on to the second half of this video, I want to take a moment here to let you know, if you're interested, the newest video series I have available that you can still buy on Vimeo. And right now you can still buy them, and they're also on my Patreon shop. I recently recorded my mid-year love and romance Psychic Tarot update for 2026. The first half of the reading, I'm looking at the single people of your sign, and the second half of the reading, I'm looking at the coupled people of your sign. Plus, I pulled gemstone crystals that are specifically connected to love and romance in those videos, one for the singles, one for the couples. I recommend you watch the entire video if you do get these, because some of the messages for the singles will apply to the couples and vice versa. Also, my mid-year Psychic Tarot update for 2026 are available. I did the center of the Celtic Cross Tarot spread in those videos. So if you want to hear what's going to happen for you the second half of this year of 2026, you may want to get these videos. And I do recommend your rising sign may be more accurate for you. You never know. So I recommend in these video series, if you can get your sun sign and your rising sign, you might want to do so, but always figure what normally resonates with you on my YouTube and Rumble readings. That would be a good gauge if you're going to buy any of these special videos. Also, my course correction, Psychic Tarot and Oracle card readings for 2026. That's a brand new series. I've never recorded those before. And I decided, based on the positive response people seem to give on those psychic crystal readings I do for the full moons and new moons on my YouTube channel and my Rumble channel, people always want to know the cautions and the warnings. So I made a Psychic Tarot and Oracle card readings. The tarot portion of the reading is going to tell you what cautions and warnings to be aware of the rest of this year of 2026. And the Oracle cards are going to tell you the advice and the solutions. And also, don't forget, my Psychic Crystal readings for June 2026 are available, and they are a continuation and an expansion of the Psychic Tarot readings that I do at the beginning of every month. So you may want to check them out. So now on to the rest of this video. So Libra, the first card you have is the Chariot. This is being pulled in two different directions, or having to make a decision or a choice between two different paths. It could also indicate long distance travel. It can sometimes mean success. You could feel overwhelmed with feelings. And your feelings could also be like kind of scattered or all over the place in June. And you may feel like you need to pause, take your time, take some time out to, get your head straight or analyze things or sort things out in your mind or in your life. You could feel like you've been on some kind of weird merry-go-round where people could be really making you feel one way one minute, one way the next. You could find like you're on a merry-go-round of feelings, and it could be due to one day somebody's really nice and happy and cheery to you, and the next day they're rude or cut you off or they don't want to listen to you. So you could feel like not only like your emotions are up and down or going around on a merry-go-round, it could be due to how other people are behaving in your life. If you have a YouTube channel, a Rumble channel, or some kind of business, you're getting ready to cast a wider net to a wider audience. So if you have your own business, you may be trying to expand your territory. Or if you have a channel where you do videos, you may be expanding them and going on different places with these videos. You may feel like there's too many things up in the air right now. You could be involved with training, teaching, training, educating, speaking, giving speeches, lectures, webinars, seminars. Any of that activity those kind of activities could be strong for you. Also, if you have to make any toasts at a wedding, or if you are attending a funeral and you need to give a eulogy, those things also apply. You could be doing coaching and tutoring. If I didn't mention that, you could be doing that. You could feel like people are unbelievable to you right now. This could be neighbors, it could be people in your family, it could be coworkers, it could be people that you watch on the internet, or people that are out in the world, like leaders. You may feel like people are unbelievable, but I get you annoyed. It could even be celebrities, if you watch, celebrities, if you follow that. So the card you have with it is the Devil. This is being trapped and bound to an unhealthy relationship, or trapped and bound to an unhealthy situation. This could also indicate addictions. You could have an addiction, or somebody in your life, your partner, or somebody in your family could have some kind of addiction. And you could be addicted to many, many kinds of things, not just drugs and alcohol. You could feel like you are almost despise somebody that's bringing you bad news, or like behaving really brash to you. You may also be very disgruntled or discombobulated by people's inconsistent behavior. Could get on your nerves. It could be your significant other. It could be one of your kids. Could be your boss. Could be multiple people doing it. Could be your daughter-in-law, or, son-in-law. I don't know. You could be very annoyed how somebody has presented something to you. It could be a boss. It could be a teacher. It could be your spouse. It could be a friend. But I get you annoyed, like somebody is going to say something to you, and you may feel like, again, brash, rude, abrupt, inconsiderate, disrespectful. You could feel like that. So somebody could tell you something or present something to you, and you may not despise them, but you may despise the way they're presenting it to you. It could be annoying to you. I feel like you're going to have to hold your tongue. Like you may be ready to lash out, or really, give them the what for. But I don't know. For some reason, some of you may do it no matter what. But I do see some of you Libras considering like trying to let it blow over, or trying to see where it'll go after this. If you don't like confront them, like to see, okay, if I don't stand up to them or tell them or don't confront them, what's going to happen about it? So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Scorpio. Hi, Scorpio. So the first card you have is Eight of Pentacles, and this is the card of the apprentice, learning a new craft, learning a new skill, starting a new job, starting a new business, and gaining financial gains and rewards from whatever it is you're learning or starting. This could also be focusing on your finances and investments. The other sign that got this was Virgo. Some of you are like trying to put money aside or saving up for something. It could be a wedding, a party, or, something that you want to attend. It could be a trip. Or something expensive. I get you like, okay, I'm trying to build up my finances and save my money for something. Some of you could find that you're getting yourself interested in a job, career possibility, hobby, craft, or skill that could cost you some money, where you're going to have to invest in. And so if you got to learn something, you may have to pay for a training program, or take classes, furthering your education. For some of you, if it's a hobby or skill, maybe you want to take art classes, or, learn how to play guitar or something. Well, that could cost you money to take those kind of classes, or some hobby that you're interested in getting into, and you got to get the ingredients, the materials, the tools to do it. So something in here is costing you money, but I feel like it's worth it in the long run. I don't feel like it's a waste for you to spend that money. Some of you may put some money into an investment, a bank, an IRA, some kind of fund, and then take it out again. And you may do that a couple of times. You may put it in, you may take it out. And then you put it back in, and then you take it out. Or it could just be once. You put it in, you're like, yeah, I'm saving this money for this, that, and the other that I'm going to do, my wedding, this new hobby I'm into, this classes I'm going to take, and I'm saving this money. And then you turn around and you take it back out. I see some of you Scorpios doing that. Some of you could be spending some money on something that's very expensive. And it could be like an elite thing. I hate that word elite because I know what it drives up in people, and I know all on the internet about the elites. But this, I'm talking about something elite. Like it could be an elite automobile. It could be an elite jet ski. It could be an elite stove. I don't know what it is, but you could be buying something like, you know, super high end. Maybe that's a better word than elite. So the card you have with it is the Nine of Rods. This is being prepared and ready for battle, getting your ducks in a row, getting things organized. It can also indicate you could be suspicious of someone or something. You could be annoyed because you could feel like somebody is patronizing you, talking down to you. You could feel like that, and that could annoy you. It could be your boss, it could be your significant other, could be a friend of yours, could be one of your siblings. And you could feel like, you know what, I don't like that, and I don't trust you now. The way they talk to you or something they're saying to you could make you take a pause and think like you want to take a step back. If anybody is rude to you or disrespectful to you out in public, oh, woe be to them who does that. Because I feel if somebody embarrasses you or puts you in a very tense, uncomfortable position, and it's out in public somewhere at a party or at the store or at a family event, you are going to be like, I don't know. I'm not saying you won't forgive them. You might, but it's definitely going to affect how you think about them and how you treat them for a while, for quite a while. Some of you are going to notice somebody at work or in your family or in a club group or organization slip up and do something shifty or shady or make some mistake, and you're going to see it, and you may let them know that you saw it, or some of you might not. And if you didn't, you might use that to your advantage later on. Like, okay, so that's how we're going to play this game? Well, I saw you do this. Like maybe you're going to see somebody steal from work or, make a big mistake and it caused the business or company a lot of problems and they didn't own up to it, that they were the ones that did it, but they did it. So you may find yourself in that position. It could even be in your family where somebody does something they're not supposed to do and you see it and you're like, okay, well, some of you will confront them, but some of you won't. And you may use it as like a bargaining chip later on with them. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Sagittarius. Hi, Sagittarius. So the first card you have is the Three of Cups. And this is 3 sisters, 3 females, 3 friends, help from friends, parties, gatherings, celebrations. You could be attending the party. You could be throwing the party. This could also indicate a celebratory conclusion to something going on in your life. Some of you Sagittarians may be starting or getting involved in a GoFundMe. Maybe there's somebody in your life or somebody out there in the world that you're like, they need help. So I'm starting a GoFundMe page. Some of you might be doing that. Or you might be donating money to a particular group of people that need help or some kind of cause. Some of you Sagittarians may be interested in starting your own club. Your own club, your own group, your own organization. It could be something online. It could be a community, like an online community, or it could be a club, you know, like a club where people can go and do spiritual practices, meditation. It could be a club like a dancing club, you know, drinks and dancing. I don't know, but starting a club comes up here for some of you Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign people. You may find that there is certain things that you need to bring home and look over, and my guides are using the words criteria. So if you're thinking of joining a club or starting a club or a group, or it could be work-related or some specific project or something that you are going to be getting involved or have to deal with or do, you may need to be looking over like certain rules, laws, regulations, different types of criteria that's involved in something you're going to join or something you're going to start up. It could even be something like a program that you want to start or start up for other people to join. Some of you could make some kind of deal. It could be a business deal or some type of deal that, it could be a one-on-one negotiation. It could be a deal with a company or business that you're negotiating. I get that you could go beyond the negotiation. Sorry, I'm having all kinds of things going on in your video, Sagittarius. My eye, my nose, my hair. So any negotiation you're involved with or you get involved with could expand or extend beyond what you think it's originally going to. So the card you have with it is the 10 of Rods, and the other sign that got this was Virgo, and the 10 of Rods is moving on to new and better horizons with 10 rods of burden on your shoulder. And these 10 rods of burden are knowledge and experience you've gained that are going to help you as you move on to new and better horizons. You could also feel overburdened in June in some way, in this mid-month of June. I feel like you're going to be talking a lot. Some of you are going to be talking at parties, gatherings, and celebrations. Some of you are going to be talking at business negotiations. So get a lot of communications, and you could even be doing public speaking of some sort also. You know, in many ways, you're a natural born leader, even though I don't know if Sagittarians see themselves that way. Usually you hear that about Aries or, Leo, but I get that Sagittarian's a natural born leader and that you may find yourself in a leadership role. If you're not in one already, you could be getting into one. And at the place or business you work, they may be telling you, hey, we want you to be the team leader, the group leader. We want you to be the manager, the boss, the supervisor. We want you to be the CEO, the president, on and on. So becoming a leader is strong here for you in June, but maybe always. This is a month where you're going to be like, I'm trying to figure things out. I'm problem solving. I hear the collective consciousness of Sagittarius say that. So it could have to do with banking, or something to do with money that comes in and money that goes out if you own a business or in your own home. Like that, like troubleshooting, trying to figure things out in those regards comes up. If you are thinking of selling a home, your home, you may have an open house in June. If you're thinking of buying a home, you may be attending open houses in June. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Capricorn. Hi, Capricorn. So the first card you have is the Four of Pentacles, and this is the Miser card, holding on protectively to things of value. It could be, items of value, money. It could also indicate emotions, and this could also show financial success coming to you in the future. I do feel like you are trying to save your money. I do feel some of you Capricorns are trying to watch your spending. I see you watching prices rise and things increase, and you're like, you're going to be really good at figuring out like how to cut corners, how to downsize, how to save money. But you're going to really want to make sure that you have safety and security in place. Like your main importance is the roof over your head and your bills getting paid. Like, you're, especially where you live, that's going to be your number one concern for paying taxes, property taxes, mortgage, anything like that. Insurance, homeowners insurance, any of that is going to be like top priority on your list. You could even get involved in getting a loan from somebody. You could get involved in a company or business that gives loans, which could be a mortgage company, a bank, a lending company of some sort. You could also get involved in, if you are a financial advisor or you want to get into financial advising in the stock market and all of that, maybe you got your license to do it and you're starting to do it, or you want to go to school and get training and education on how to do it. Yeah, your money and facts and figures to do with money is heavily going to be on your mind, I feel, for many Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign people this month. Like figuring out what things cost, what you can cut down on, managing your money, budgeting your money, all of that comes up here. And budgeting and managing other people's money as well. If a new romance comes in for you, I feel that they are going to be very good with money. They may be an accountant, a bookkeeper, a financial advisor, a stockbroker. They may be that. So the Hierophant is your other card, which is a card that symbolizes God or a high priest or pope giving you a blessing or a warning. It can indicate higher education and higher learning. You could be the teacher or the student. This could also indicate religion or spirituality. Some of you are graduating from something. It could be a class, a course, it could be college, it could be a training program, it could be even graduating within your business or where you work. Like you're moving up, you're graduating by, moving up the ladder, or, maybe you're graduating spiritually in some way. I feel like there's certain things that you need to keep quiet, and certain things that you need to do methodically. So if you are doing any kind of business planning, restructuring of finances. I feel like you're not going to talk about it. You're going to keep it quiet, and you're just methodically going to go through with it and do it. And if you make any kind of mistake or anything gets fouled up, I feel like you're going to contact somebody that is like really polished or well versed in the area to help sort it out for you or troubleshoot it. So if there's something you're doing and you're like, okay, this doesn't make sense to me, why isn't this working right or properly, or what steps can I take to improve or change this? I feel like you're going to be consulting professionals. I don't feel like you're just going to be like, yeah, whatever, let the chips fall where they may. No, I get you definitely looking into things and getting like professional advice. You may even feel like you want to try harder at your job or with your business. You may feel this urge like, I want my business to be more professional and more polished, or I want to come across at my job like I'm more professional or polished. Like you may really, and if you have clients and customers, like I said, if you own your own business, you may be very much like clued into that. Like, I want to look like I know what I'm doing. I want to be professional and polished. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Aquarius. Hi, Aquarius. So the first card you got is the King of Rods, and this is a fire sign person. Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. It could be you if you have a sun, moon, or rising sign that is a fire sign. If it's you, you may be mustering up your courage to say something to someone. So there could be somebody you need to speak to. It could be a group of people, could be you yourself, to like an individual. But I'm getting like mustering up your courage to say something. You may feel a little lackadaisical. That's not really the right word, but you may feel like you want to get some oomph back into your life. You could feel drained, tired, not as upbeat, positive, energized like you normally do. This could be a fire sign person in your life that you're seeing substantial changes go on with them. It could be medically. It could be mentally. It could be emotionally. It could also be in the material world, like, financially. You may look at this fire sign person, they may feel like they need a pause, a break, a vacation, time off, a leave of absence, depending on who they are to you. If it's you, you could feel this way. This fire sign could feel like there's too much going on out in the world. Too much chaos, maybe even in their own personal life, that's like putting a damper on things for them. It could be, like I said, it could be health problems. It could be that. I feel like they need sleep. They need more sleep. They need more rest. They need more sleep. I feel like they need healing. If it's you, if this is your sun, moon, or rising sign, that applies to you. Getting Reiki would probably be a good help, or some other type of healing modality would be helpful for them. So the next card in your reading is the Knight of Cups. This is a water sign person, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. It could be you, Aquarius, if you have a sun, moon, or rising sign that is a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. I feel like there's some things coming out about a water sign person. It could be you, but it could be if you have water, sun, moon, or rising sign. But it could be somebody you know or connected to, or it could be a public figure out in the world. I get like things coming out about them. You're finding things out that you didn't know before. This water sign person could be really worrying and fretting about stuff. There could be things going on in their life or things that are happening out in the world that they're really worrying and fretting over. For some of you, this could be somebody that's single that wants to be attached. So if your sun, moon, or rising sign is a water sign and you're single, it could be you and you want to date somebody or be attached to somebody. But this could be a water sign person in your life, maybe one of your kids or grandkids or a sibling to you or something. And they may be single and they are thinking about or feeling like they would like to be attached to somebody, romantically speaking. This could be somebody that looks at you that thinks, you bring me the goods. You bring me the information. You bring me the insight of what I need to know. So this could be somebody that looks to you, Aquarius, like you're going to help them out. You're going to give them ideas. You're going to give them insight. You're going to give them information. That's how I see them looking at you. Some of, it could be other things too, but that comes up here when I look at the Knight of Cups looking at you. I see you looking at them like they're going to get some spring in their step, either in June or soon, and they're going to go in a new direction. So this could be somebody in your life that's going to start a new job, a new career, or some other type of new direction. Maybe they're going to move. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Pisces. So the first card you have, Pisces, is the Nine of Cups. And this is wish fulfillment. All good things coming to you in an emotional sense. Something you've wished or wanted could be happening for you now. It could be granted. This can also indicate that you feel full of happiness and contentment. Some of you Pisces are going to be feeling really good about yourself, good about what you're doing, good about work that you're doing, good about your career or things that you're involved in, hobbies, skills, crafts, but especially work and career. You may also be feeling really good about yourself, like your appearance, how you look. You're a swagger. You could feel really good about how you're projecting yourself with your looks and with your words and image. I feel you're going to be very inclined to go the extra mile for people this month of June, where you may be going out of your way. It could be in the workplace with clients and customers. It could be in the workplace for your bosses, managers, and supervisors. It could be in your family situation where you're going out of your way to help, one of your parents or a sibling. It could even be in friends or a club group or organization you belong to, but I get you going out of your way to be helpful. It could be in multiple places, multiple ways. You could meet somebody this month that really thinks you're the bee's knees, as the old-fashioned saying goes. So somebody could really be interested in you. They could be like, hey, hey, Pisces, you're a catch. And you could feel pretty good about it. So there could be somebody that lets you know they're interested in you. And if you're single, well, all the better. If you're coupled, well, then you have a challenge. I feel like you're going to make good time on the work that you're doing, and you're going to make a good impression on people this month. And what you're doing, like the work you're doing, is going to be good. It's going to go well. This is a really good card for you. You're going to feel like, I got it all together. I look good. I'm doing a good job. People are impressed with me. This person's interested in me. You know, it's like, and all of that positivity is probably inspiring you to be so helpful to other people, like I said. And you're going to make yourself available. Like if people need you for anything, for work, to work overtime, or to help them out, or you're going to make yourself available. You're going to be very amenable. So the card you have with it is the Chariot, and the other sign that got the Chariot was Libra for this mid-month update. So the Chariot is a card that symbolizes change. It can also mean being pulled in two different directions, having to make a choice between two different paths. It can also mean long-distance travel or traveling. It can also indicate success. If you have a business or you want to start a business, I see you building up clientele, building up clients and clientele. You've got a lot of star power this month, so if you put something out on the internet, like a new YouTube channel or a Rumble channel or a new website, or like, you know, if you're in the theater, if you're an actor or a musician, or you're a composer or an author, like what you put out there in June and moving forward, you got star power, Pisces, star power. Like you're on fire. Like people are going to be like, want to talk to you. They're going to want to pay attention to you. They want to like, it's like, I don't know what's going on. It must be planetary, but it seems like things are really turning around and going in Pisces' favor right now. It's like you're lucky this month. You're having luck, good luck. Not just in June. I feel like this could go through July and maybe even into August. One of the most difficult things for you this month might be for you to figure out where to put your time, attention, and energy. You may have so many opportunities of like to work, to hang out with this one, to go do that over here, to go to that event, to spend time with these people. You may be like, how am I going to juggle all these people and all these events and things I've got to do, and how am I going to manage my time? Some of you Pisces are going to be ingenious in figuring out a new path forward. That could be to do with your career. That could be to do with a business. That could be to do with your love life. It could have to do with some other thing you're involved in. But it comes up like you figuring out a new path forward. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. As always, thank you so very much for watching. I do truly appreciate it. Thank you for liking, hyping, subscribing, and sharing my videos with others. And please do subscribe. That way you'll get notified when I upload my videos here to YouTube. And if you're interested in any of the special videos I record on very specific topics, bringing you more psychic predictions and messages from my spirit guides, you can, for now, as I said, you need to go back and listen to what I said in the middle of the video if you skipped it. For now, you can get them on my Vimeo on-demand videos, and you can for sure continue to get them on my Patreon shop. I've created a list you can read here on this slide. They are also linked below this video in the description box. And for now, those links to Vimeo are still on the videos page on my website at theluckymermaid.com on the videos page. But remember what I said, Vimeo is doing away with the Vimeo on-demand videos as of July 23rd, 2026. So if you've purchased any of my videos there and you want to continue to watch them, I have enabled the download feature, which was on there before, and then I stopped it because of some news I heard about my videos floating around out there. Now I've enabled it again, so you can download those videos if you want to watch ones you've purchased from the past and to continue to view them, because Vimeo will be erasing all anybody that had, not just my account, all accounts that were Vimeo on-demand video creators. That is all disappearing. But you can get all these videos on my Patreon shop. And you don't have to be a paid tier 1 member to do it. You can go there for free. You do have to create an account. That way you have a library you can go to back and watch. You do not have to be a paid tier 1 member on my Patreon. You can if you want to, and you can get the special things that you can read about and listen to what I said in the middle of the video about it. I do have another platform in mind where I am also going to make these videos available in the near future, in addition to Patreon, but I don't have that set up yet now. It's not set up yet, so I can't talk about it yet. I'm just telling you it's coming. So I hope you all have an amazing rest of the month of June, all the signs of the zodiac out there, and know that I wish you many blessings and peace.